Hi everyone, I'm happy to be doing another desk crit, still working my way through my project. Just a reminder, I am doing Dragon Con, but more specifically the pros of Con, because I want to focus on 4 key elements that make the Dragon Con experience unique, not just for nerds, but also for scholars and academics. So, in case you didn't watch the last one, it's over Memorial Day weekend in downtown Atlanta, and it is huge with so many different things you can do, from cosplay to the parade, concerts, and just so many different things. There's something for everybody. But moving forward to what I'm working on now, the pros of Con: creativity, community, education, and entertainment. Those are the 4 key concepts that I want to cover. And there's, information for each topic and each concept that I'd like to get into. For creativity, it is more than just dressing up. Groups get together, people dress up individually, there are mashups of costumes, but so much planning and research goes into it. It's not just going to Party City and picking out a costume. A lot of people try to recycle and thrift, and as you can see here, some people have cosplay for a cause, and that's something that I've been seeing a lot in our current political climate, and so I'd want to touch on that as well. In community, I would discuss shared interests. People come from all over the world, whether it's just downtown Atlanta or even from London. It used to be called World Con, but Atlanta took such a liking to it, so it became Dragon Con, its own separate thing. And you would see stuff like this in every single hotel and people like this all through the streets. And so there really is a great sense of community. It's not just people who like Deadpool or Harry Potter. It's people who get, lost in the identity of taking on a different identity for the moment and all the work that they put into it. And I would definitely want to touch on that, and there's more on that to come. Education is obviously my whole driving point, because education is not just learning in a classroom, it is learning through creativity and with the community. But one thing that people don't seem to know about Dragon Con is that there are different workshops to actually teach you things, and writers conference workshops, which as an English major was just amazing to me to find out. And this poetry slam, hilarious, absolutely wonderful. And so I would give it an A+. And then last, entertainment, which I'd say is the number one thing that draws people to the con. But Here Come the Mummies is one of my favorite examples, because they are award-winning, talented, incognito musicians, and they play like a full brass band basically. It's just so many different instruments. It's not just punk rock, and no offense to punk rock, but the whole point of my project is that it'll surprise you with how smart it actually is. And so that is my general concept plan, the pros of Con. And here's a little bit about my plans for images and style. I like the look of this, where it would be sort of an aerial view of possibly the parade of Con, where it's downstairs and you can get a mixture of everything, with some tabs here on the side, whether it's creativity, community, education, entertainment, and possibly another section where there's the map, the link to the main page, how to purchase tickets, etc. And here's like another basic style, and a little more in-depth interactive style, where it would be possibly an image, and this would be creativity, pointing in on something that obviously related to it, possibly something like that. I have tried to play around with a template like this one, similar here, where you'd hover and it elaborates a little bit, but I am having the hardest time removing the base layer of this template in particular. So I'm getting a little stuck on my design side, and I want to go forward with the content, but I need to know how I'm going to develop it. I love the idea of, instead of bullet points, having these charts, these webs, or even these buttons that are accordion style, where they develop on the idea instead of it just being bullet points. I definitely want to make use of something like this and this to kind of mix it up. I had another hard time with this one because of the pre-made triggers and everything. I had a hard time situating myself, and so I think starting from scratch might prove to be a little difficult too. But oh yeah, I found this really cool advertisement. It's from Georgia State University, and it's an actual professor teaching on Notes from DragonCon as a religious experience. And I have an entire folder in my Google Drive that discusses the same thing about dressing up and cosplay and role-playing games and all that sort of thing being something to discuss from a psychological and sociological standpoint. And I love that. And so driving my design project is also this psychological, literary, sociological viewpoint, because it's not just about dressing up. It's the pros of con. Let's see. So if anyone could possibly help, or if anyone's interested, I would like some ideas on how to bring this to life so that I can have real photos from my experience and then some better photos and videos, links, definitely to make it interactive, and how to really find all of the checkpoints for this project within my idea, because I've got something I'm passionate about and now I want to bring it to life in the most useful and user-friendly way. So I definitely appreciate your time, and I hope you're doing well with your project too.